I got it, but it's pretty small. But I'll open the game up, and if
Well,
you kind
we're
of guide where you're going, I'll be able to see it better on my monitor.
all right. We are live. All right. It is a 21-6 season, beginning of the season.
21-16.
21-16
Yeah.
IHOF, beginning of the season, and we're going to go over all the teams, see who's going to be coming in first, who's going to come in last, and who are potential teams that can make a run for the playoffs this season. Which,
Works for me.
by the way, before we begin, do you guys want to talk about your draft picks that you're disappointed with, or not?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
we said it. We said it about my quarterback. He was going to drop what he was. So, but honestly, he had a pretty decent preseason. I know that really don't mean shit. I don't think he threw any interceptions. So yeah, I'm going to roll with him this year. See what the fuck happens.
I think everybody would agree that this was one of the, I don't know about worst, but it was one of the down draft classes in recent IHOF history. I mean, it was not loaded with studs. There was not a lot of talent there. Most people were trying desperately just to deal picks away. Let me go to next year. And anyone that expected much out of that draft probably was setting themselves up for a disappointment because you weren't going to get much. There wasn't much there.
Well,
Having said that, my draft isn't the worst I've ever had. I mean, I've had drafts where everybody crashed, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I wasted all these picks. Nobody here worth a shit. I got a couple guys that are okay. I got a couple guys that, they're not what I thought they'd be or hoped they would be, but, they may be able to help contribute a little bit. I mean, we got a little deeper. We got a little better. I had trouble getting down to 53, and I was only at like 56. I had to cut 3 players. It was a little bit tough to cut, those last 3 guys. I mean, doesn't mean our roster's loaded, but I mean, I'm happy with the depth. I think my O-line depth got a lot better. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I'm just surprised with the Bernstein. I mean, him crashing like that. I mean, I guess I don't know what you see him at in game, but with his combines, that was unexpected. He was supposed to be a lot better than that. I mean, he's still going to be useful, pass rushing, but.
Well, I've had several people tell me, and I guess I'm old school. Like you, I still look at the combines too, but they're telling me flat out, it's all about bars. If the combines can be whatever you want them to be, but if the bars aren't there, the bars aren't there. Now, I thought the guy had the bars too, and then what I do is I try and match up the combines to the bars so they support them, so that I know the bars aren't lying to me and the guy isn't going to crash and burn. I liked your quarterback. I don't know that I would have took him as early as you did, but I get why you did. You had no choice. He wouldn't have been there in round 2.
Yeah.
But in a normal draft, that was second round talent to me. And, I was like, okay, well, if you didn't take him, Mass Luis was going to at 15. So
yeah,
he was never, he wouldn't even have got to 17 if I'd have kept that pick and not traded it to Penn. I wouldn't have got him at 17. So I get it. Quarterbacks are, you do what you have to do to get one. He may still turn out, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, he didn't throw any interceptions. He's got the old standard high soul score and low intelligence, so we'll see how it works out. Plus, he can scramble a bit, so.
Well, the one we talked about, I know me and Grim were talking about, was here. 1-1. Julio
Yes.
Rogers.
Yep, that was a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm looking at Christensen now. Okay, now my scout is pretty good, but not incredibly good. I love the 82 scramble bar. I'm seeing 62 cents rush.
Yep.
I'm seeing 53 current, 66 future on timing. I like the timing bar. I think it makes a difference. Accuracy is 14 current, 42 future. If he hits 42, that's not horrible.
No.
And third down, I see 31 current and 49 future. He's got the long pass bar. His shorter pass bars are nothing to write home about.
Right.
But, I mean, he could still be a decent quarterback. I mean, is he going to throw 50 TDs and throw for 6,000 yards and complete 70% of his passes and take you to an undefeated season and a bowl win? No, not by himself. He's not.
No.
But if you get him talent around him, he might be all right. I don't know. I mean, there's people in this. Go look at the two QBs on North Plainfield, because that's who I'm playing tomorrow. Look at his two quarterbacks. You're in better shape than he is.
All right, this is number 1. This is number 2.
That's the only two he has.
Yeah, and when we got to North Plainfield, I was going to talk about his team and that the quarterback's going to be a struggle again.
We're going to get to the teams on that part. I don't want to dive in too much. But I have to agree with what Red Zone you were saying. And Grim, to piggyback off what you said about turnovers, if he doesn't turn the ball over and he manages the game for you and he gets those wins, because the turnovers are big.
Yes.
You know, you can have a stud quarterback, but if they're throwing 20 interceptions, you're losing games. We know it, right? Unless you're putting up 50 touchdowns. But if you're 1-to-1 touchdowns to interception ratio and you're both in the 20s, you're like an 8-18, maybe 6-10.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm going to lean on my running back again this year, you know. And I got a couple people he can pass the ball to. I got James Jarvis still, and so he's got a couple weapons around him, but we'll lean on the running back again, and we'll go from there.
I just want to hear what you guys thought about your picks at the end of the day.
What do you think of yours? Did he end up panning out after?
Loved him.
That's good.
He bounced up to
Kansas.
He bounced up to a 70 rated.
Yeah, that's great.
And this is how I'm seeing him. And my scout's pretty high.
I'm seeing 48-63.
So I have 45-70, and I have a scout. Well, I'll show you my scout so you guys can see.
Yeah, he's got high. He's 97 scouting ability. So.
Okay, so you see him, yeah.
All right. Well.
So yeah, him falling to 125 for me to pick up when I needed a safety, that was perfect for me. I'm very happy. He'll be stuck in.
I don't care if he finishes at 59 overall. He's going to help your secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the bars.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
The bump is a hair low, but I don't know how often a strong safety's in bump. I think it's zone bars the big. You know, I read somewhere, it was in RZB. Somebody made a post and said something about they didn't need zone with their safeties, and I'm going, what? What?
Yeah, no.
A safety has to have zone, or I don't want him on my goddamn roster. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, a strong safety, he's playing man-to-man if you're in a cover one buzz. He'll man-to-man the running back or the tight end. Zone defense, that's his usual coverage. And then bump and run, I believe it's only in that. Not the press 2 or press 1, but the actual man-to-man that everyone says to play when you're in the red zone. So that's the only place that would come into play there. So I love the pick. Great pick. And just seeing...
I couldn't believe this guy said he didn't need zone. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Strong safety, I want run defense, zone, play diagnosis, and endurance. Free safety, I just want zone and endurance and the interception bar.
Yep.
I mean, the zone is where it starts for safety. I couldn't believe that. So, I mean, this guy's going to have, looks like 80 future zone. I think that's plenty, Clay. He's definitely going to help your secondary.
Yeah, fantastic.
No doubt about it.
So let's go into teams now. Which conference would you guys like to start in?
Might as well start in the other one. Well, I guess that's Bob's conference, so
oh boy,
doesn't matter to me.
All right, Bob, we'll start in your conference since you said, "Oh boy." All right, and I know he doesn't like to talk about his team. It's like voodoo.
Well, here's why.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how science works. Science doesn't work that if you talk about your team in a positive way, you're going to be bad. That's not how science works. If you have a good roster and a good game plan, you're going to win, no matter how much you speak about your team.
You're right. Now, let me tell you a little story. I'm not going to mention the league or the GM, but at the beginning of last season, it wasn't on in IHOF. This GM posted that anything short of a bowl appearance was going to be considered a failure. And I'm in his division. So I was like, okay, there's a little locker room wall material for you. And then we played a game. The first game I won. The second game he won 16-13. And he posted his defense is finally coming around. That's the way he thought they'd play all year. And he was hoping he could string some games together at the end. And I'm like, yeah, you just beat my third string quarterback because the first two were injured. You beat me 16-13. Yeah, go pump your chest. Good job, buddy. And then in the preview for next season, he says that he had too many distractions that were non-FOF related last season, and he blames last season's poor record on himself. Now, I don't want to be that guy who's standing here telling you my team's wonderful, I'm going to kill everybody, you can't beat me, I'm an arrogant prick. I don't want to be that guy. That's why I don't like to talk about my team.
Okay. However, so, you can say I have a stout. However, hold on. You can say I have a stout roster. I think I'm going to compete. I think I'm going to make the playoffs with the roster I have, and I think I can go 10-6 or 11-5. Maybe if they're really good, 12-4. Well, if you have a good roster, you say it. It's evidence. You do.
I like my roster. I like my team. I think we're going to be competitive. I think we can be a playoff team if things fall right. I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's not actually, it's not a whole lot different from last season because the teams that I don't have, I played Oakland last season. In place of them, I played Chesapeake. I played Hanalei last season. I have to play San Antonio. I don't think we played last season. I mean, for whatever good teams that I played last year that aren't there this year, there's another one that is. I got to play Houston. They're going to be tough. I still have 2 with Toronto, 2 with Rochester, 2 with North Plainfield. Frederick can be tough if his running game's working. Augusta's tough. It's not going to be an easy. There's no easy season in IHOF. I mean, it just doesn't exist. I think the competition here is the highest.
And you don't want an easy season. You want to earn your way to the playoffs. That way sure. Your team is good, and that way you as a GM, you did everything possible to put together a team, a game plan, to beat all these teams.
Grimmer and I talked about this. We were chatting, texting the other night, and I just kind of rattled off a couple of things that I had done. We got deeper on the O-line. I like that. We went to a 3-4, which automatically made my D-line deeper. And a lot of them are the same people, so my cohesion doesn't suffer a ton. The linebackers, kind of a mixed batch. We kept 2 that'll play a lot, and we added 2 that'll play a lot, and then the depth is a little bit sketchy. So, I mean, it'll take me another season to fix the linebackers the way I really would like them to be, mostly because the draft pick didn't pan out quite as good as I hoped. I think he's useful, but the secondary, I added a couple guys in the draft, so it got a little deeper. That's probably worth maybe 2 wins, and that means instead of 8-8, maybe we can go 10-6. So there, I gave you a number.
All right. Well,
I broke down and gave you a number, Clay. I'm thinking 10-6, but will that be enough to get past T-Zac? I don't know. Are some of those 10 wins against him? Because that's what will matter.
Grim, go ahead.
Oh no, I think the division is T-Zac's again. I mean, just because of that powerhouse offense. I don't know that he made any big strides on defense. I mean, he does got a couple draft picks, defensive end, and decent secondary again. I mean, for me, I would go probably Toronto, and then Bobby. I think he can get to 10-6 and make the wild card. I think Rochester pops in there at 8-8. Rob still doesn't have his quarterback.
He's got his running back too.
Yeah, Krieger, but he's got that Al Davison. So I think he's going to be able to run all right. He's still got a couple of decent wide receivers. Got a youngish O-line that's kind of coming up. He's got a decent defense. So I think Rob can definitely make the 8-8 and that, and the North Plainfield, still. I mean, wasn't his defense was getting better last year, wasn't it?
It was up and down.
Yeah, and it kind of looks a little more on the scary side like it used to be. I mean, he's got a great defensive end. He's got a couple defensive tackles now. He's got a good cornerback, a couple good safeties. So I think he could be scary there again. His O-line's getting better. But
his safeties are really tough.
Yeah, and I think without that quarterback, he struggles and takes the end of the low end of the division. So that's how I see it.
He is struggling with his offense. Look, 233 points he put up last season.
Yep.
Which is pretty bad. And you're correct. No quarterback. He's in there with because you were going to say something, Grim, about North Plainfield's quarterback.
Yeah, just that he didn't get one. Mm-hmm. Again this year. So maybe he can make, but these are both rookies. So either way, that's going to be a struggle. But that's how I see it panning out. Toronto, Harlem, Rochester, and North Plainfield.
I also going to say the same thing. Toronto, he's got a high-power offense, scoring points. He's put up 50 points in preseason. But as we know, preseason really doesn't mean much. But with T-Zac, he can put up 50 points with his offense. I have you, Red Zone, coming in second. And I can see you at 10-6, actually. So that's a definite on that one. T-Zac, I can see him more of a 12-4 team. And then between North Plainfield and Rochester, I think Rochester is going to come in third, and North Plainfield in fourth, because North Plainfield has 2 rookie quarterbacks that he's going to be playing with. So that's how I see that play out for that. So we go to the AC South. Houston went 11-5, Atlanta went 11-5, San Antonio 11-5, and Fort Wayne 6-10. Very interesting how this played out last season.
Well, ask yourself this: who has added the most to their team in that division? Because I think I know the answer, and I think Grim does too.
See, I don't know the answer.
I think it's C-Max, but I'll be right back, gentlemen.
I don't know what the answer is. So
San Antonio has really put some pieces added to that team from last year, in my opinion.
Okay.
The last one was a running back he just signed. I can't think of his name, but if I pull his roster up, I'm sure I'll see him.
So this is a rookie he got, undrafted.
No, this was...
so he picked up a running back. Is this guy?
Chester Linton.
There it is.
Look what he did for Brooklyn last year. Now, he doesn't have a lot of endurance. You're not going to be able to use him as a bell cow back. But look at the route running bar. Look at the whole rec bar, and look at the production last season. You're going to be able. He's going to add to your team somewhere. I mean, and either you've got a bell cow running back, or you need 3 or 4 guys that can all hurt you. And it looks like he's building the backfield by committee.
He's got the line, O-line. His O-line's pretty stout if you look at him, and pretty young.
Sochi threw 34 TDs and 8 picks last year. Damn.
Did he?
After
he
23 and 23 the year before, do you think the new coordinator helped him?
That's a good question. I wish he was on for this to say that.
Garrett, that new coordinator made a huge difference.
It is night and day. 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
And it depends. It depends, Clay, because, see, I'd be the first to tell you, I make all of my own plays. I make all of my own game plans. So my coordinator, he doesn't do much. But when you make them so they're best fit to his style, you still get those bonus points. The what are they called? There's a word I'm searching for. An adjuster or a... But I mean, you want to fit a style that your players fit, and I think that he picked the right style. I don't know what I think he went from. Did he go from Air Coryell to balanced?
Yeah, let me look at what he did. He did have Air Coryell,
I think he went to Balanced, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Yes, he's at Balance.
Yeah. Well, that was the smartest thing he did last season. Because just looking at those quarterback stats, that's insane from one season to the next. Plus 11, minus 15. Whew. Wow. And a 35-point jump in the QBR.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back.
We're just talking about C-Max's quarterback.
Don't get me wrong. My buddy Argot up there is going to be tough, but I like what San Antonio's done. I think Sween Dog's going to have a tough time hanging with those two. I think they're the top two.
Well, let's look at Sween Dog's team, Atlanta.
I don't know what he's done or who he's added. I know he signed his running back, I think. Got an extension signed with him.
So
yep, he got that.
Kendrick.
You got
but
that
what has he added to the team?
I don't know what he did in free agency, so I couldn't answer that one. But
Well,
again, his offensive line is stout. Good grip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say he added left guard, who's going to be good. He's got a stout O-line, and Ethan Kendrick to run behind. Donnell Wilkerson finally got the starting gig back last year, and I think he's going to do well again this year. He's got some receivers to throw to. You know, for me, I think, well, you know, when Chris says that Socha always does one season good, one season bad, one season good, one season bad. Well, he thinks this is going to be a bad season, but I just think with that addition of that Chester Linton running back,
I think that's going to be a big one.
It is, yes. I think that's
he
huge. He
won't play a ton, but when he does play, he's going to add something to that team.
Yep, and he's got some tight ends that he can work with again. Still got the wide receiver core from last year where he spread the ball around quite a bit and got him good. O-line, he got that Chris Lane kid in the 5th round that is going to play okay, I think. Defense still, secondary still a little bit weak, but I think the division actually is, I think it's a toss-up between Atlanta and San Antonio. Because I don't know what Ken's going to do with Ward again this year. I mean, he does got Brechterfield over there running the ball. He's got a good fullback, good tight ends. Well, God, his defense is so solid, though.
Yeah, his defense will keep him in.
Man.
I think Houston has the best defense of the three. I think San Antonio has the best offense of the three, and I think that's why those two will be battling it out. I think Sween Dog is going to have to get everything he can out of both sides of the ball to keep up with those two.
I got to agree with you guys. His defense, Ken's defense, is stacked. Now, Atlanta put up 443 points.
Yeah, he did. I'm looking at that now.
You know?
By the way, Clay, the word I was searching for is modifiers. When you have plays that are best fit or solid, the modifiers that you get for that, the bonus for that is what I was talking about. And that had to be what changed Socha from 23 and 23 into 34 and 8.
No, because what Red Zone was talking about, Grim, he changed his offensive coordinator from Air Coryell to Balance.
Balanced, yep.
And
that made a huge fucking difference.
Big time.
Boy.
Red Zone was saying 30-something points in the quarterback rating.
35 points in the QBR.
Which is huge. 34 touchdowns to 8 interceptions compared to, I think, 23 interceptions and 23 touchdowns last season.
Yep. And a 35-point jump in QBR from 61 to 96.
Yeah, so I mean, like you guys saying, San Antonio probably best offense, Houston best defense, and Atlanta's got by far the best running game. And if Donnell Wilkerson, if he just continues to be the game. Oh, he did pretty well last year, didn't he?
Well, you know what?
No.
Maybe they'll all go 11-5 again.
That's could very well be the case, and one of them misses the playoffs. You know.
Hold on, guys. You guys are counting out Fort Wayne.
How would you like to be Fort Wayne looking at those three teams?
Well, here's his rookie quarterback, who's now 77% developed. Let's look at his team. His secondary needs work. He needs work in his secondary, but his front, they still have to be developed. Yeah. What's that?
Donovan's not 100% for 4 more weeks.
Yeah, he got injured last year.
He's going to miss the preseason, except for week 5, and he's going to miss that because 4 and 5 run together. I wouldn't put him out there after reconstructive knee surgery until he's absolutely 100%.
Yeah, and that's probably not until like week 5 this year.
Well,
so he's going to have to start Dennis right off
No,
the
he'll
bat.
be 100% week 1.
You think so?
Yeah, 4 weeks left. There's preseason.
Well, we're done with preseason, brother. Tomorrow is week 1.
That's right. Tomorrow's week 1.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm blurring my leagues together here. You're right. Yeah, you're talking week 5 or 6. Yep.
So no, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to discount Fort Wayne either, because Yaki's good, but he's got to be able to throw the ball to someone other than fullbacks and running backs and type.
Sure,
have a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? But
his offense was abysmal. It was 228 points per season.
Hey, Grim, I'm sorry, I'm discounting Fort Wayne. He's not going to hang with those 3 teams this season. There's no way.
He's just got. I mean, his O line's getting stout. His D line's getting stout.
There's no doubt about it.
He's got good linebackers.
He's got basically a rookie quarterback who played. He started 4 games last year. Who's not going to play until week 5 or week 6. There's no way he's going to hang with those other 3 teams this season. I'm sorry. I wish him all the luck in the world. I see what he's trying to build. I think he's doing a good job. But his time is not yet. It's not his time right now.
He's hoping Dennis can carry the team for the 5 weeks.
Those 3 teams, any of those 3 teams in another division would be running away with it.
All right. No, give me your order, guys. And Grim, I'll let you go first, and Red Zone second. Go ahead.
Man.
Yeah, this is tough.
This one's tough. I mean, I'll agree with you, Bob. I think he's got to fix that game plan before he's going anywhere. Doesn't matter the amount of great people he can have on his team. He's got to fix that offense. But so Fort Wayne at the bottom. To be honest, man, I could see all 3 of those teams going 10-6. Houston, Atlanta, San Antonio. Man. Yeah, but that's just tough. Man, I'm going to say San Antonio 1, Atlanta 2nd, Houston 3rd, but all 10-6. Somebody misses the playoffs.
Okay. Red Zone?
I'm going to say San Antonio 1st, Houston 2nd, Atlanta 3rd. I don't know about the 10-6 records, but I agree only 2 teams come out of there, division winner and 1 wild card, because Augusta's going to be in the hunt. I'm going to be in the hunt. And I think if you count Bordeaux out, is it Bordeaux? Let me look and see something here. There was a team I was looking at that I thought everybody was going to overlook this year. Oh, no, he's got Donovan. I'm thinking of Brooklyn with the QB. Never mind, it's the other division, other conference. So it'll come down to basically, let's say San Antonio wins the division and Toronto wins mine. Well, then it's me, Atlanta and Houston, and Augusta looking for 2 spots. And that's if Orlando doesn't bounce back, because he's capable of being in the hunt too. And I'm not even talking about Bordeaux or Mass Luis, because I think Matt should have got rid of that QB as soon as he held out. But we haven't got to that team yet, so I'll hold that for later.
Now, I have the exhibition standings up, which doesn't really mean much. You really want to lose and if you win, you have a shitty season.
I went 4-0. But see, there's a difference though, because Toronto went 4-0 as well, and I don't see them having a shitty season.
It was like maybe 3 seasons back. I was at the bottom for power ranking exhibition. Yet I went 13-3.
Well, hey, 1-3. I'm ready to roll.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. I'm following Grim. No, actually, I'm gonna go Atlanta, San Antonio. Wow. It's a close one between San Antonio and Atlanta. That one's closer. It's like 1-2. It can be either or, but I'm gonna go with Atlanta, San Antonio, Houston, Fort Wayne. That's how I'm playing this one.
Well, 3 different division winners. Well, no, me and Grim both picked San Antonio. All right.
But I'm saying they're all going to be 10-6, and you think they all could have the same record too. So.
Yeah, it's very close between Atlanta and San Antonio.
I'm not sure how to predict the records. I mean,
the record. The records are kind of hard to predict, but
they're all playing basically the same schedule. I mean, it'd be a couple of tougher games for one than another because of first, second, and third place, but I mean, it's not going to change that much.
Yeah.
So let's go into the next AC East. Tucker went 14-2, Augusta 11-5, Orlando 7-9, and Snapfinger 3-13.
And that's how it'll finish again.
Now let's look at the rookie that everyone missed on. There it is.
Who?
It's the rookie wide receiver that won 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Bob's pick.
So, okay, now let me ask you this. Let me pull them up here because I haven't really looked. 41. I see 41.67. What are you seeing?
42.64. His route running is at 20.65.
Okay.
Yep, and the site says 41-68. So
I've got two questions for you. Okay. The first question is the route bar I'm looking at is 20 current and 70 future. That's a 50-point gap on that bar.
I have 20 to 65, so 45 gap.
Okay. Do you think he's going to hit 65 or 70 route running?
I don't know.
I think so. Because that bar jumped after PS2.
Okay, what do you see his endurance as? Because I see 16 current and 31 future.
17 to 24 future.
Yeah, endurance is going to be an issue, but again, he'll make this guy work, and or someone's going to become enamored with him and trade him a first-round pick for him.
So here's my question. I mean, and he came at me, and this is what he said to me. I'm willing to overpay to get this pick. And he offered me a 130, 213, and next year's Tucker second. And I'm looking at my draft board going, okay, yeah, this is kind of a shitty draft. Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 or 6 guys here that are all clustered together that I could probably take any one of them. Why would I not take that deal?
Wait a minute.
No, you take it, especially since no one saw that this guy was not on anyone's radar.
Hold on.
This guy if you'd shown me this guy, I still would have taken the deal and traded.
Wait a minute. This was your pick, Red Zone?
Yeah.
Oh, you traded this pick to
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
This guy wasn't worth what I got paid for it. I make the deal even if he shows me.
No one saw this guy.
But if he says, Bob,
I remember seeing a text from Grim. He's like, "Did you see this?" I said, "I have no clue."
But if he says to me, Bob, this is the guy I'm looking at. This is who I want. I still would have said, okay, go get him, and took the deal.
Yeah, and it's the bummer thing, again, back to that linebacker you drafted, because we were hyped about him. Like, hey, man, I mean, you kind of lost out on a wide receiver that is probably going to be really good. This is a great consolation prize. So that's why I'm still bummed about your linebacker, because of the trade down. You're still going to get a good deal. But, yeah, I mean, I would have done it, too, because, like I said, nobody saw this guy. This guy was not on anyone's radar, so.
Nobody pays you 2 seconds to flip first-round picks.
Yep.
But let's go.
He came right out and said, I'm going to overpay because I want this pick. I said, okay, post it. I mean, it was very easy. One of the quicker trade conversations I've ever had.
Well, as for the lineup,
what everybody's all excited about. I mean, I think there are 10 or 15 other guys just like him around the league on other teams that, probably have better endurance. He's not like a generational talent. Not to me.
No, that endurance, precludes him from that. But
actually, he needs wide receivers. By the way,
who?
Ben.
Ben needs wide receivers. He's trading them every year.
This is one of his wide receivers, Mills. Okay, here's one of his wide receivers, Mills. He's going to make him work, right?
Yeah, he's getting 1,000 yards again.
I like this
Let's
guy.
put it this way.
I like this guy.
Ben can line up with 5 guys with low endurance, and it wouldn't matter as long as they have the other bars. That QB is going to just tear this league apart.
Yes, it is. Yes, he is. Well,
I just didn't see what all the hooting and hollering was about. I was like, okay, yeah, he's good. You'd expect him to be good. Ben wanted him.
Ben put a
But
570.
he's not some generational talent that, oh my God, now that he has the QB and this guy, we don't have any chance. I don't see that. He's just a good receiver.
He put up 517 points last season. I think he was the highest. Yes, he was. What a rookie quarterback.
Yep. Telling you, that guy's going to throw like 600 or 700 TV passes.
So, what are you guys calling for this division?
Same as last year.
Yeah, I don't.
And Augusta will be in the wild card hunt.
Yeah,
and Orlando could possibly be too.
Yep. Augusta still has Caden Banks. He's Andres Garland. He's got him. He's got a good fullback. He's got a couple wide receivers to throw to. Looks like his O-line's getting a little better. They're still a little bit young. Solid defense. Secondary might need a little work, but yeah, so I would go. I'm probably going the same. Tucker, Augusta, Orlando didn't seem to add much, so man, he might. I mean, those fucking.
Who's Orlando's quarterbacks? So these are his three quarterbacks. One.
Well, he went back and got.
He just picked him up today.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And Emmons has been there for a couple years, but.
And he's got this guy. So these are his three QBs. Who do you think he's starting? If you guys had to guess.
I'm thinking Emmons because Emmons has actually been there. This will be his third year there, so. But he's not. He doesn't have really any running backs, no tight ends, not really anyone to throw to either.
Emmons can't run. Coffee will play, I bet you. Eventually, that'll be his guy.
That Ernest Ward, wide receiver he drafted in the first, may be okay.
Neither of the other two can run.
You think he'll play this guy, Grim, to get him experience?
Yeah, he'll have to start him, get his experience. He'll definitely be a starter this year, just to up that development. But not much else to throw to, you know?
Yeah, you're correct. Not much.
And then Snapfinger, we all know at any time he could go, you know.
Oh, what did I do that for?
Get to that 10-6 and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but he doesn't know why. He made a post last year. He doesn't understand why he's losing games when he won the year before, and it's the same game plan. Okay, yeah. But you're not playing a last place schedule. You went 10-6. Now you're playing a 10-6 schedule, so you got a tougher schedule. I mean, players adjust. You know, the ratings go up and down every year. People add rookies, make trades, that sign free agents that the other teams you're playing are more difficult to beat than the year before. And, you know, it's a different set of dice rolls. You think you can just take the same game plan from last year and throw it in and go 10-6 again? Come on.
He's got a good quarterback. Happen. He's got the wide receivers. These are his three wide receivers on his team.
He's got a good tight end, too. And he's got that rookie that actually panned out.
He has 4 wide receivers. Let's move these all to the side. This is it. He's got this guy, Eller. You were talking about him, right, Grim?
Yep.
Great pick. He's got this guy here.
Yep.
Oh, not really that guy. I should take him out.
So here's your question.
There you go.
What would T-Zac's record with that roster be?
Fucking 16-0.
Why is he 3-13?
And he's got the tight end.
Well, when I played him last season, I think I mentioned something in the comments, in the forum. He was getting familiars, like, in the second quarter. Okay. Lots of them. So I just want to make sure that it was him. Where are you? No, maybe it was. Maybe I didn't play him last year.
I don't know.
No, if that wasn't him, it was another team, I believe. Which I mean, this could be one of those years he goes 10-6, and again, it just sucks.
This is not the Carolina Coastal League. This is IHOF. You better bring it every game. You better be able to game plan. You're going to get run over if you can't.
And it tells you how important game planning is, because you could have the roster of a stacked house. If you don't have a game plan for them, it means nothing.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about with Fort Wayne. He's really building that team good, but man, if he can't get that game plan running.
And I'm rooting for Fort Wayne, okay?
Yep.
I see what he's doing. I see what he's trying to do, okay? But you're talking about 3 teams that are ready to do some damage. He's not. He's just not. Not yet. It's not his fault. I'm not knocking him. It's just a simple analysis of what you see in front of you. Mm-hmm. He's not ready to hang with them yet.
Snapfinger put up 263, but he has a solid offense.
And that's a game plan problem. I mean,
Same thing.
I just don't want Frankie Leach to just... He's such a great quarterback, and everybody would take him on their team. And he's just going to sit there and wallow in this shit and never have a winning season.
Yep.
I agree.
I mean,
he's a guy I would actually give 3 first-round picks to get,
Absolutely.
And then pay him $80 million a year.
Yep. Absolutely.
I hope I never have to do that again. I'm sure I will, but I hope it's a long time.
Augusta, always liked this team.
Sawblade is always in the mix.
Yes,
you can never count him out.
Yeah, especially the last few seasons. He's really
any league he's in. He's a part of the equation somewhere.
Yeah, so he's made the playoffs last 3 seasons in a row, sandwiched between 6 and 10, and then 2 playoffs before that. So
okay, so he had a hiccup season, but I mean, for the most part, he's competing every year to get into the playoffs. And once you get in the playoffs, well, strange things happen. He's always going to be in the mix.
I'm going to go with you guys. Tucker first, Augusta second. Orlando, I don't know. They feel like they're fading for me. And
yeah, kind of after that.
Can Snapfinger turn it around? Go ahead, Grim. What were you going to say?
Oh, just after his surprise. Well, no, that wasn't it, because he's 2 seasons out of the playoffs now. But outside of that, he made it 3 in a row. Missed one, and then that season he made the bowl. But he's not he's been dropping off the last couple seasons, but I don't see it on his roster with those quarterbacks and the running backs and the lack of wide receivers. I mean, Ward's going to be playable, but he's got a really young O-line.
But he can game plan.
Yes, he can. So, I'm going Tucker, Augusta, Orlando, and Snapfinger. But with the off chance that Snapfinger's going to rip off one of his 10-6 seasons and not make the playoffs.
All right, then we go to AC West with Gutenberg, Bordeaux, Mass-Louis, and Paris.
I think we're all calling Gothenburg on that.
Yeah, Gothenburg's going to win it. I mean,
say it for many shows now. That division is Julio's until someone else can do something.
I don't think. I am not sure. Let me pull something up here before I say this.
Who did he traded with? By the way, with Ben, who did he pick up?
Tackle.
Yeah, because this guy was a holdout. Was it this guy he picked up? No.
Trade Abraham Montoto.
Okay, he paid a first for him.
Yeah. He ended up not being that great.
Yeah, that's how I'm showing him.
Yeah, and I think that's a trade I don't make until after PS2. I think he did it right before PS2. Then he ended up dropping a little bit. If I'm not mistaken. But no, Julio's just got such a good grasp on his team and where players fit in. Mm-hmm. And even, he doesn't have to have the best roster in the world. He's got a, pretty solid roster. But Oh, and it looks like his one tackle, Clay, got suspended for the year, Riley Allen. That's probably why he traded for Montado.
But look at Gutenberg's points last season, 495 points. His defense only allowed 288. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he wasn't like 15-1 or something like that.
Yep.
Solid.
Just such a good game planner and roster builder, and I mean, he's taking that division again this year for sure.
I wonder who his quarterback's going to be.
He can start either one of those guys and win.
That's right. So I'm not sure who he's going to go with.
I'm guessing he goes with Fredrickson again.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Bordeaux's team. Think they're going to take a step backwards?
Yeah, who did he get for a quarterback? Because he lost Dennis.
Well, these are his.
Oh, he's got.
These are his three.
He's got the little guy.
Little guy.
Wait, who's the little guy? I got to go look now.
Sebastian Donaldson.
Oh, well. Yeah,
and so if he plans to throw as much as he was throwing with Dennis with that guy, he's fucking doomed.
Okay. But wouldn't it be fun to watch? What's the record? What's the record for the most interceptions thrown in a season?
I don't know.
Because this guy might throw 50.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He doesn't have any wide receivers anymore.
Wait a minute, Donaldson. Didn't you trade this guy?
I did.
To Paris.
And Paris.
Yes, I did.
Paris traded him or dumped him?
Yeah, Paris traded him.
Bordeaux.
Traded him to Bordeaux this year.
Interesting.
He doesn't have any wide receivers, and I don't know if he's going to try that 800 passes with Donaldson, this team's fucking doomed.
Now, this guy needs a running game and a balanced offense and some offensive talent around him, and he doesn't have any of that there.
Well, this is running back. One of them.
Wait.
Let's see.
Do you have a running game? Am I wrong?
This is his second running back.
He does have a running game. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he got sick of us saying that he has no running backs. He mentioned it in the forums, I think, after a couple shows ago, I think.
Well, I stand corrected there. Who's got Bordeaux? Al. Sorry, Al. Yeah.
So maybe he's
very nice. That's a nice running back.
Yeah, maybe he leans on the run a little bit more.
Well, I mean, if he can put together a balanced attack and not make this guy Donaldson throw, 700 passes.
Yeah, he can't.
What's his defense like? I'm looking now.
His defense, okay, let's look at his front four. Not bad. Yeah, he's got three good guys.
He's got a nice secondary.
Well, he's hurt. I should take that back. This guy is out for 16 weeks, so he's gone.
Yes, he's done for the season.
Next guy up.
He's playing 4-3 under, so Palazzo is going to be okay. He's got a decent tackle, but that's still just a weak D-line, which is only the two good guys.
Correct.
Secondary looks decent, though.
Secondary's okay. Linebackers look a little on the weak side.
And he's got some other linemen.
He has what?
Look at his offensive tackles.
Yeah, his tackles are great. And his center.
Well, he should be able to run the ball, then.
They're all dumb as shit, though, too. So that's just penalties and
stuff. The penalties.
Yep. Cue the penalties.
Penalties and interceptions. Yep. That's how you
win. Yeah, so even if he tries to run the ball with those three cats, man, that's a lot of fucking holding calls.
Wow.
They are
or offsides or...
Well, to be fair, I have some pretty dumb offensive linemen, too. I've been working towards changing that, but it's a slow process.
How about Mass Lewis? Let's look at his quarterbacks. I know, awful.
Well, here's the thing.
Picking with Singleton and Tanner.
And Tanner. Here you go. These are the guys. He doesn't like Tanner, as we know he doesn't. He got this guy, Tanner, under contract.
Yeah, didn't he re-sign him this year?
He did.
Yeah, after he held out. And he said when he held out, he said, "That's the end of your career here because I'm not paying this much money for a guy who throws all these interceptions."
Yeah, this is a question I have, and I hope he chimes in on this. Why would you pay this quarterback if he throws 21 interceptions last season? If he threw 1 for 1 the season before?
I don't know. I don't think he trusts Singleton, but Singleton played 3 games last year and threw 7 TDs and 3 interceptions.
I would have went with Singleton and saved my money.
Yeah, me too.
Agree, right? This guy, 46, well, next season, I wouldn't have paid this guy.
Matt, wherever you're at, I'm rooting for you, but I'm not a Tanner fan. I don't know.
He sees something in Tanner that he's holding on to him. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't. I just wonder what the decide. He probably posted in the forum his decision for, getting him out of his holdout. But
let him stay in the holdout and let him hit the market. That's it. I doubt people are going to pay for this guy. Maybe he'll be a backup to somebody. He must have done something for.
Tanner's younger. Maybe he's seeing the big picture. He's trying to build for the long term. But I don't know.
But the evidence of what he's doing for his team: 19 touchdowns, 21 interceptions.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping he goes with Singleton this year. But Singleton's been a guy that's thrown a lot of interceptions as well. So
maybe it's time to move away from both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
His secondary is atrocious.
His receivers are nice. His tight end is nice.
Yes.
Yep, and he's been running good with the backs that he has.
The line looks decent. It's nothing overpowering, but it's solid. There's players there.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
He's got the $15 million kicker still.
That secondary's a little lean, though, huh?
Yeah, real lean. But they're probably just guys that play man or zone, and then he'll just,
Well, right. If they have the bars, he can use them to get away with it. Which I always find that funny because I get it. Everybody wants those draft picks. Everybody wants a young team and with young players. But do you realize how many veteran players? And it's not just in this league; it's in every league. There's veteran players, either on a trade block from somebody, or sitting in free agency, that could help a team that's right there, just inching towards winning a bowl, and they don't want them. They want young players. They're not trading them. I'm not giving up a 3rd-round pick for that tackle. That tackle might put you in a bowl.
Yeah, Clay, open up the Byron Sokol, his cornerback, average 36.
Byron Sokol.
Yeah, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. He just wants that man bar for his cornerback. So I'm guessing all those cornerbacks.
Yep, bet you
are sitting right there at that 80 to 100 mark on man-to-man. And then he's probably got a nickel guy in there with a high zone,
But what I'm saying is, they don't want the veterans, they want the young guys. And then everybody's staring at overall rating. But like you just showed, this guy's, 36 overall? But it's one of his 2 starting corners because of that man-to-man bar. The bars matter more than the overall.
Well, let's look at Paris. Paris is 3 quarterbacks coming in to start.
So he's kicking himself for the Holmes trade because he went down.
Yes, and I think
he went down in PS2, and that's again, don't trade for guys right before PS2 because oftentimes you will be very fucking disappointed. So yeah, I'm guessing Alejandro gets the start this year.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't see Holmes. You'll be lucky if he ends up sticking as a long-term backup. That's a bad deal.
What'd you get for him, Clay? A 3rd?
No, I got a 2nd, but in 21-18.
Okay.
So that's like a 4th-round pick, actually.
Well, looking at it back when the trade happened, I'm like, I'd give a 2nd for fucking Holmes, but not at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at that point, you say, let's see what happens preseason week 2, and then we'll talk. Now, you're taking the chance. What if he goes up? But I'd rather have him go up and not get him than pay that and have him go down.
Yep.
Yeah, it went the other way, and so
lesson learned. I'm sure he's over there writing this down. He says, "I'm taking notes here. Hang on."
But he has Alessandro that he.
We've all done it.
1.5, right? I would play this quarterback out. I want to see what I get out of this guy. You spent the high draft. Well, it was a high draft pick that you got out of him.
At least get him 100% developed, And by starting every game this year, he's probably going to be pretty damn close to that. But, he's also got some running backs that can run the ball. He's got a tight end to throw to. He's got a couple wide receivers that seem to be able to catch the ball. Solid O-line. Good defensive line. Look at his defensive line. Yeah, defensive line is fucking stacked. Linebackers looks like he's got a couple that can play. Secondary, all high 50s guys, So I think Waite's that really, building this roster out nice. Now it's just a game planning.
Do you think what's holding him back is a quarterback?
I don't know. He's played so many different ones throughout his time in the league. I mean, fuck. He started off with Turner, then Granados, then Eric Mays, then Erickson, then Eichhorst, then he traded Eichhorst to you, and then he played Mays for 3 seasons, then Reed, and then Alejandro Lindsay was the main quarterback the last 2 seasons. I mean, I think if he can settle on one guy and start building some of that cohesion, I think he could be, really take a step forward. But then also it's the game planning stuff too. You really got to get a grip on your game plan and what your offense can do and what you should be doing. And I think he can take a step forward, but
he had the worst defense in scoring allowed against him. He had 504 points allowed against him.
Yep. And that's not good. That's something wrong with the game plan, because you look at that defense, that should not be the case.
I'm going to call Gutenberg. Now, Bordeaux and Mass Luis, it's a toss-up between the two. I'm going to go Mass Luis taking second, Bordeaux taking third, but it's going to be close, and Paris coming in fourth.
Yep, I agree with that. Bordeaux and Mauslaus don't make the playoffs, though, So Gothenburg, Mauslaus, Bordeaux, Paris. Gothenburg's the only playoff team, and he wins the division. And speaking of that, I'm going to be right back, gentlemen.
All right, let me go. I just want to use the restroom, and I'll be right back as well. Okay, I'm back.
So I got a little did you know for you, Clay.
What's that?
Wait till Grim gets back. But I'll start it out because actually he's involved in it, so we don't have to wait till he gets back. When you talk about chemistry, you know how you go to that attitude advisory button and you click, and Chesapeake has, they're all the way down the bottom of the page. You're like, Jesus, is this guy ever going to have enough affinities? He needs 10 on the taxi squad, right? And not surprisingly, the team that is right there with him, probably not quite to his level, but the closest other team is Toronto, Tzak. He's got a ton of affinities. But there are 3 other teams that have quite a few more than the rest of us.
Go ahead.
Orlando is one of them. San Antonio is another. And our boy Grim in Williamsburg, it might be in 3rd place behind those first 2.
Oh, yeah?
So he's been quietly acquiring these affinities and stacking his chemistry without saying too much. I think we should give him a little grief about that when he gets back.
I think so, too.
Because I would not, you just said to me, how many affinities does Grimmer have? I just said probably as many as everybody else, but no more, no less. I didn't know. I'll bet you he's 3rd. I went down every team. All you guys play.
He looks like he's in 2nd place behind Toronto.
Well, Chesapeake.
Oh, Chesapeake. Let's look at Chesapeake.
They have all the way down the page, dude.
Oh, yes. You're right.
But Orlando has quite a few, and I'm sure that's helping him. San Antonio has quite a few. I'm sure that's going to help him if it hasn't already. Two teams we talked about.
I think I have like 3.
I have a few. I don't have near as many as I want. But part of the problem with me is you have to set this up from the beginning. And I came in and made deals to improve the offense, and I couldn't really choose colors. I was like, okay, who's available? I need a quarterback. Well, the chemistry doesn't always work that way. You have to pick a color group and start from there.
Yeah, it takes
straight to that group.
Well,
Howie wanted to go affinity this year, and we were talking about it, and then he's like, I texted him a couple of days ago, and he's still doing it, and he's like, no, I tried it in single player, man, not even worth it. And I'm just
3rd.
What's that?
You have the 3rd most affinities in the league.
We're looking at your team now with all affinities.
Yep, I really tried to get back into them because I've, over the last couple seasons, I've really had them back, but before that, I was just kind of falling off with them, not getting as many, and I started really paying attention to it again, and I got back up to that amount. So, if I don't win a division, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't help, but
if you do, it probably helped you do it.
Yep.
All right, guys, we are in the other conference. We have Kansas 6-10, Chicago 6-10, Iowa 6-10, and Arizona 6-10.
So it's the 6-10 division.
It's the 6-10 division.
Okay, cool.
Such an awful, awful season last season.
You made the playoffs, man. I'd be satisfied.
Not the way I want to make the playoffs.
Well, I think you made some fucking moves here that really help your defense. I mean, your problem was you could not stop the run fucking at all. And when you can't stop the run and you got a high-flying offense, your offense ain't on the fucking field very long. So you don't got the time to do the damage you used to be able to do,
Nope, not at all. So these are my players that are my playmakers that I see for defense. I changed a little bit on the game plan. I actually like this linebacker, by the way. He does well for me.
Yeah, he's done really well for you.
However, I picked up Wooden to help. Then I got Lincoln, who's going to be at defensive end. So, and then I have the other defensive player, this guy here. I'm going to put him at nose tackle. Stuff the front.
Who's that?
Grow?
Yeah,
Grow.
Nose tackle. He's 5'10", 293.
Yeah.
Wooden's got to play that. He's 6'3", 330.
No, I'm putting him on the outside.
Really?
Yes.
I
might mix him up, but I'm going to put him on the outside, I believe.
I like A.J. Woodard, your other defensive end. I think Wooden in the middle to stuff that shit up, Lincoln on the outside, and Woodard on the outside.
The defense I played in the preseason, I had 7 sacks, 6 sacks, 5 sacks. It was high up there with my sacks. So I want to pressure this quarterbacks who I'm going to be playing against. I will probably play around with that, Grim. I might, move Wooden back into nose tackle. However, the way I played it in preseason, they had a high level of sacks on quarterbacks.
Right. No, see, I'm just worried that Grow wouldn't be able to handle that run up the middle and wouldn't stuff that up. But again, yeah, go ahead and play how you're going to play. And if people are running all over you, then it's time to make a change.
Exactly. But yes.
I took over a team in RCB that had a 3-4 defense. And I was all set, I'm going to go to the staff draft and change this shit. No way, we're not keeping that. And I show up and I'm like, looking at this defensive coordinator, and I'm like, man, he's really good. I mean, I'll never get a guy as good as him, maybe ever again. I mean, he's that good. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep him and let him teach me. And I looked at some of Cert's game logs and what he did, and I looked at a little bit of what Quicksand does in Chesapeake, because he runs a 3-4 and doesn't blitz. And I've never been a big blitzer with a 4-3. And I looked at some of what Julio was doing, even though it was a 4-3. I wanted to try and get some of that into it. And we did really well on defense. So I brought the 3-4 here. I want to look even closer at what Cert's doing. How is he running man-to-man and press one the whole game and not giving up 50 points a game? I want to know how. I got to figure that out.
No, but he gave up 451 points last season. That was terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever he did last season,
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
But if you pick your spots better, it can work.
Yeah. But also offense. Don't they say sometimes the best defense is a good offense? I mean, Arizona.
Yeah,
I think he's coming up. And he's gonna be a tough for you to beat this year, Clay.
Especially with I don't know about this year.
Look at his roster.
Look at his fucking O-line, and he's got McQueen. McQueen's fucking running for almost 2,000 yards every season, if not 2,000, 2,100 2 seasons ago.
He's a good GM, and I'm not knocking him in any way. I think he is one of the really good young talents that we have as far as players of the game. That's going to get better and better, and he's going to be a real pain in your ass, Clay. I just don't know if he's ready this year. Next year, maybe. Man. He needs that QB fully developed. Then he's going to be a real problem.
That Duffy, he probably got the best tackle in the draft.
Yeah, I wanted him. Of course,
smart.
He was never going to fall to me.
He's smart. He's 72, smart. Look at that.
He was never going to fall to me. I was praying. I'm like, come on. He can drop to 17, can he? No way. I was never getting him.
He's 22 years old. He's going to have him for a long time. Nice pick. Grim, Red Zone, I have to agree. Arizona, Melman has put together a solid team. Look at the safety.
He knows what he's doing, and he's asking all the right questions. I just don't know that his roster is quite where he needs it to be yet. He needs that QB fully developed.
These are his 2 young safeties.
Yeah, with the O-line, with that, yeah. I think he might be ready to make the playoffs this season. Because Horner
might make the playoffs.
Horner played okay. I mean, he threw a few too many interceptions, but still had a decent rating. He's going to rely on McQueen, so Horner doesn't have to really throw the ball that much. He doesn't really have a whole lot of people to throw to, but
dude, I'm not knocking what he's doing at all. I just think Clay wins the division and he's chasing Clay. Next year, it might be a different story, Clay.
Well, I have a question. How long does McQueen have? One more season before he drops off?
Maybe
hard to say.
2, 3. Maybe they kind of hit the wall when they get to 30 if you run them a lot, So he's probably got 3 seasons left in him with that production. That would be my guess.
Okay.
And by then, Horner will be developed.
Yep.
Let's look at Chicago's team. Let's get Chicago up here. He's got Thomason.
He has the QB.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it. His on the line. There's no receivers.
Yeah, no running back. The O-line's still a little weak. He's got a decent D-line. He's playing 4-3 over. 1 decent linebacker. Secondary's a little weak. I think he's a ways away. I know he knows he needs to get some weapons around Tomlinson too, but
I feel like he went backwards. Do you guys not see that?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, he's definitely going to be down there in the bottom with Iowa again. So,
well, Iowa's 4th.
Well,
as long as he's working 85 hours a week, he's going to be in 4th place.
Well,
that was what he posted. He's working 85 hours a week. So let's see, 7 days, 12 hours a day. That's 84 hours. I'm calling bullshit, but hey, okay, 85 hours a week, then you don't have a chance. You're in 4th place.
He's got a good defense, Iowa.
No one's working 7 days, 12 hours a day. That's just not happening.
He's got a good offensive line. Not bad of it. He's got a good roster as well.
Yep, it's just the game planning. I don't know if Efrain Owens can get the job done.
He let that corner walk. He let the QB walk. He cut the receiver. He traded half bill. I mean, you're all over the place.
So what do you guys call him?
Well,
same as last year.
They're all tied.
well, no, you won't all be 6-10 again. Kansas, Arizona, Chicago, Iowa.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking. I got Kansas. I think if you can stop the run, Clay, I think you go 11-5. I think Arizona could go 9-7. I really do. I really think he's getting his shit together over there in Chicago, and then Iowa to round out the bottom. And I think you're right, Clay. Chicago looks like they took a step back this year.
I'm not at the game. Does he have a mentor for that QB? Please tell me he found one.
Who are we speaking of?
Arizona.
Yeah. We talked about that last year, and he got one last year.
Yeah, he has.
Okay. Oh, but yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he got one for him last year and picked up another one this year. So,
well, then if he's got a mentor for that QB, the way he played last year, the last 5 or 6 games of this year might be where you see what he can really do. Because by then he's going to be almost ready. What's his percentage now?
Who are we talking about? The QB?
Horner.
43%.
So by the end of the season, where do you think he'll be, Grim? 70?
Yeah, 70. That's the first number that popped in my mind, and then you said it.
So you'll be taking a good look at most of what he's capable of the last 4, 5, 6 games, don't you think?
Yes.
So you'll get a look at next year, Clay, at the end of this year.
I'm calling our team to take it. I'm calling Arizona to take second. Iowa third and Chicago last.
Yeah, and Iowa had that early tackle that didn't pan out in the draft too.
That's how I'm seeing it.
Oh, that's not him. Sorry, it must have been Chicago's guy. Chicago's tackle. Keith Pearson ended up okay for Iowa.
So let's go into NC South. Cap City, who went 9-7. Texas 6-10. Moontown 6-10, and Outer Banks at 4-12.
Okay, so I got a question. You guys have both been here when Tony was on the show. And Tony is clearly, he's well-spoken.
Yep.
He knows the game.
Yep.
He's done his homework. He's studied, he asked the right questions. In my mind, I see a pretty good GM. Why isn't he winning?
I don't know. Maybe it's Wilson and his red flag. He's got Wilson. He's got Pelagonia. He's got fucking, now this Russell Reyna tight end. He's got fucking Joseph Stevens at wide receiver.
I mean, I get it. Cap City's not an easy. You got to play him twice. You got to play Howie twice. There's 4 tough games in your division. I get that. Moontown, I'm not sure about. Okay, I'm not knocking him or praising him, but I don't think he's at the level of the other 2. Okay, so there's 4 tough division games. Okay, and then you got to play the rest of your schedule, and that conference is no cake. But I've seen him in the playoffs. I've lost to him in the playoffs. This is not a bad GM. He should not be 4-12.
No,
I don't understand.
He's only 2 seasons out of the playoffs too. He was 9-7, a wild card in 21-13, with these pretty much same guys. So
I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe life shit's getting in the way. I don't know. I don't think he should be 4-12 either.
He actually called me after this quarterback pick, and he was just beside himself. He wasn't ready to quit. That's not his style. That's not his personality. But he just couldn't believe. He's like, I know I did it. And there's nothing I can do. I just need to vent. It's okay. Go ahead and vent. But I mean, that's something that I've heard people talk about for years. The conscriptor picked. I didn't do that. Yeah, if you have your phone on and your computer on, and you swipe across your phone, or if the cursor goes across your computer, there's something there's a glitch in it that it'll pick. I was reading about it the other day. Somebody posted somewhere about it. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, we talked about that last show. Just don't do shit on your phone. If you're on the clock, do not try to add people to your priority list. You will fuck up.
But if you look at the QB that he took, dude, he doesn't look that bad.
What's he look like to you, Clay?
He's not going to the Hall of Fame. But
okay, let's take on.
He doesn't look that bad.
That looks terrible.
This guy? He's got no sense for rush.
Tony Thurman looks fucking terrible.
Well, then he must have really dropped preseason 2.
Yes, he did. He got
even
worse.
Awful.
Prior to preseason 2, I didn't think he looked any worse than Christensen.
No, but yeah, that's,
And you took him at 1-4 by mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I mean, he could have got some real help there on the O-line, taking one of those tackles early.
Absolutely. Did he tell you who he wanted to take?
He wanted the defensive end that went to Easy Lee.
Oh, wow.
And he panned out big time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he told me that before the pick was made.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's, because his
Before Easy Lee took him, he told me who he wanted. I mean, he's not lying.
Yeah, his defensive ends suck right now.
He's not lying.
Oh, man. That even makes it more of a bummer.
I mean, that's going to set him back. That's going to hurt him. I'm just shaking my head. I don't get it. He was always when I was in Chicago, he was always in the thick of things over there.
He's got a good roster. And then we have Moontown, who he only has one wide receiver. He's up there, 33 years old.
Yeah, and he's going with
that. But his roster's not bad, is it?
His roster is.
I'm not at the game, but I don't remember his team being.
Defense is super, super fucking solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's building kind of like Cirque defense first.
Yes, he doesn't need a defense at all.
He's 4-3. Yeah, that Glassthal wide receiver is getting old. I just don't know if this. I'm guessing he's starting Bryson Pitts again.
You don't like him, right? Pitts.
Oh, he hasn't really played really well.
He has not. He threw 20 interceptions to 17 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, 21-14 was about his best year. He's 63%, 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Just looks like he's throwing too many interceptions.
Even that's not good enough, 24-17.
And he gets sacked a hell of a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't have any sense rush.
He's got a good O-line.
So, until I see something different, I got to go Cap City again, and then Howie. I'm thinking Outer Banks and then Moontown, but those two you could probably flip a coin.
Well, I don't know. I've heard Howie bitch about his team so much times this week that I'm starting to lose a little faith in that. But solid defense again. He's got a tight end. His wide receiver panned out. That Nicholas Cassidy.
Yeah, I liked him.
So his bars fill out.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that route running comes up, but I prefer that getting downfield to hit more. His offensive line, some are aging. He's middle age, we'll call it, but they're stacked.
Yeah, and they're run blockers too. So, They talking about in the forums running Richmond 500 times this year.
Yeah, you saw that.
I mean, there's a quick way to shorten someone's career.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's possible to get a guy to run 500 times.
Put him in 113 and run every play on 113.
Oh, what's his name retired? I totally forgot.
Oh, the QB? Yeah.
Bone line.
Yeah, after he gave him a 3-year deal with a bunch of bonus.
Yep. No, how we don't like his quarterback situation, so his cohesion for passing goes to absolute garbage.
I guess he's going to play Hobart. That's his quarterback.
I can't see. I'm not at the game, but I don't remember him having any option that looked good to me after Bone Line quit.
Well, Hobart looks to be about the best.
True. I have to go Cap City. Texas.
Yeah, you got to put Howie there until one of the other two does something to pass him, and they haven't.
I'm going to put Outer Banks coming in third, and Moontown
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I can go with that. I got Cap City probably 10-6. I think Howie might be able to go 7-9. Outer Banks maybe 7-9.
I think I don't know the guy at all. You guys, well, I guess you do, Grim.
Yeah.
Wackadoo is maybe one of the more underrated GMs around because nobody knows him. He doesn't post. He's not around. Doesn't say much. And from what I understand, he's basically saying, okay, off season's over. I did my draft. I did my free agency. Here's my roster. Here's my offense. Here's my defense. Here's my file. And he's checking for injuries.
Yeah, no, he's
winning that division.
So, Bob, I can honestly tell you that he's actually one of those human beings in the world that probably works close to 80 hours a week. He basically runs the company that I work for.
Okay.
And that's Chris's brother, so.
But, I mean, he's winning that division, and all he's doing is checking for injuries. What would happen if he was game planning?
Well,
I guess you could make the argument.
Okay,
he's actually,
he's got his offensive game plan. He's been running that one for years, and it's really picked up now because his O-line cohesion's top notch. He's got fucking a super great O-line. I mean, that Cornell Rivera going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. He's getting close to run blocks and block opportunities.
I guess what I'm saying though is he's one of the better GMs no one has ever heard of because most people don't. Okay, who's the best GMs in IHOF? His name doesn't come out.
Yeah, no. But I don't think he's one of the best. I think he's in the fucking mix with good ones. But again, if he had more time,
he's better than you think he is.
Yeah, absolutely. But especially over the last 5 seasons, he's really put he's got Tommy Johnstone. This kid's going to be a Hall of Famer. Fucking, he's got Terrell Yeater. He's got that O-line. His defense is still solid. And he basically does what Rob does, and he wrexes the defense, and they end up playing okay.
That's what I'm saying, though. He's better than you think he is because he's sitting over there. He ain't saying much. He wins that damn division how many years in a row now?
Yep.
No, he has
2, 3.
He's got good players on his roster. He puts together.
He's probably going to win it again.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got it this year.
Yes.
Agreed.
And this might be Tommy Johnstone's last year because that boy's 37. He might have another year in him.
But that's pretty impressive to me.
Interesting that you say that. I agree with you. I don't think Tommy's going to go. What's he have for a backup? So there's no one here. He'll probably get in free agency. Yep. So he'll be going for free agency or looking to trade for somebody.
Yeah, he's still got. Well, John, some of them play till they're 40, don't they? He might, because he's still got 3 years on his contract, so he might play a couple more. But if he retires next year, boom, that's $80 million in cap hit, dude. Ugh.
I know. Wow.
Okay, but hang on. I got to go back in the other room now. I got to see this. How many years are left on his contract?
3.
He's got 3.
Okay, so if he plays this year, there'll be 2 left.
Correct.
There's no cap hit.
Yes.
There is no cap hit.
What do you mean? He's got $80 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
Listen to me very carefully.
Doesn't that get prorate? I mean, get sped up?
Hold on. People do not understand this. I want to pull him up and I want to explain something because I've argued with people about this and they do not understand it. Cap City, quarterback, Johnstown. Okay. Here's his contract. Now, this season will disappear. We're talking about next season when he retires. So this season won't count anymore. It's already been played and paid, and it disappears. There's only 2 years left.
Correct.
So if he doesn't retire, it's going to cost him $70 million next year for that guy to be on his team.
Yep.
When he retires, it's going to cost him 30. I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. It's going to cost him 40. He will not pay the $30 million salary. He will save $30 million in salary because he won't be there to collect it.
But does he not have to pay out that bonus? Because Howie had bone line.
But the second year is when it adds up.
Like, okay, he's gonna owe $479 million, $200,000, right? That includes that $40 million bonus.
No,
we know that. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you I'm looking at his team. He's got salary cap next year is $623,800,000. However, he has $479,200,000 under contract. So that $479 includes that first $40 million bonus. So that's counted for. You are correct on this, Red Zone. It's counted for.
But when he retires next year, he's going to save $30 million next year and $30 million the year after, and pay out the 40 and 40.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it ends up being $20 million, there's not $80 million. Okay, that makes sense.
But he will actually save money. He'll save the salary that he doesn't have to pay out. $30 million each year, 17 and 18. He will save that.
Well, I wish Howie would have came on because bone line retired with 2 years left on his contract and asked ton of bonus, and Howie was bitching about it all over the forum. And he bitched about it last show because he lost so much cap space.
But this is the thing. He's wrong. That money was gone the minute he signed that contract. You can never get bonus money back.
Right.
It's gone. You're going to pay it whether he plays or not. The problem is, look at Johnstone now with 3 years left. Let's say he retired this year. Now, 40 and 40 would have been added together year 2, 2017. Now it would have cost him money.
All right.
To retire.
Okay, that makes sense. I got to use the restroom, guys. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
But people look at the bonus and get scared. Oh, this dead lost cap. That money's already lost cap. It just isn't in that column yet. All you're doing is moving money around on a balance sheet.
Yes, you are, but it's spread out throughout the years. If look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z, he cut a player, did he not? Right? Or capped them out something, and then it accelerated their bonus that he got hit all in 1 year. Remember that?
It never hits in 1 year. It's always broken up over this year and next year.
This year and next year. So
when there's only 2 years left, there's only this year and next year. There's nothing to accelerate. He will save $30 million next year and $30 million the year after if Johnstone retires next year. He'll have more money to spend The lost cap box will get bigger, but he'll still have more money in his hand to go buy another quarterback with.
I wonder where
this is what people don't understand. And I run into it all the time. I'm trying to make a trade, and they're like, "Oh, I can't trade him." What are you talking about? The bonus is gone. You have to ignore it. You'll never get it back. No matter what you do, it's gone. If there's only 2 years left, then you're paying him out just like you would if he was still playing.
Oh, I agree with you on that. Bonus is gone. You can never get that back. Absolutely.
When you get burned on bonus money is when the guy has 3 years or 4 years left. And that third or fourth year are being added to year 2. And now you're getting your ass handed to you. That's where you get burned.
It's good to know.
A 2-year guy, nothing changes. The salary changes. So if you trade me Johnstone next year, you're going to save $30 million each of the next 2 years. Now you're still going to pay him his 40 bonus, but you're going to do that whether you trade him, cut him, he retires. Nothing's going to change that.
I got you.
Nothing. It won't go up. It won't go down. It won't disappear.
But if it's the 4th year.
Well, the 3rd or 4th year, that's the problems, yes.
Okay.
If it's 2 years, you got no issue. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like looking at my team and seeing a big number in that lost cap column. But in this particular case, he's still going to actually have more money to spend if Johnstone retires. He'll have $30 million more next year to spend on a new QB because he won't be paying that salary. Because when you retire, you don't get the salary. You have to play to get that.
Thank you for educating us on the salary cap, because I didn't know that part about the 2-year one. That it
that's why I don't
accelerate. Go ahead.
That's why I really like the 3-year contract, because that way I'm not tied to you. I may or may not want to trade you, but don't tell me I can't because I gave you a 4 or 5 year deal. A 3-year deal, you play this season for me. Next year, hey, something's different now. I can get a better player. Somebody's offering me 3 first-round picks. Whatever. I can make a deal because there's only 2 left. That's why I like the 3-year contract.
All right, let's go into NC East. Brooklyn went 10-6, Frederick 9-7, Chesapeake 9-7, and Williamsburg 8-8. Tough division to pick, by the way, this one.
It is.
Yeah, it has been for a while, but now we see a division like yours, Clay, and division like C-Max's. Those are all starting to get tough.
Oh, there's no cakewalk anywhere, I don't think.
Oh, let's look at Brooklyn's playmakers.
I think Brooklyn's going to throw the ball, Frederick's going to run the ball, and Grimm's going to play defense. So now, which of them can do something else that gets them into first place in the division? There's your question.
No, Brooklyn's really just trading for Cushman was brilliant.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he's got a decent running back who can get the ball. Ron Ellard and Jose Cole, they're good wide receivers. O-line's still a little bit iffy, but that's coming up, and his defense is getting back to what it was some seasons ago. He's got 2 good safeties. He's got a great shutdown corner. He's got a good linebacker. Howard Graham looks like he's injured for the first 2 weeks of the season, but once he comes back, him and Elias Dennis are going to be a great combo again. I mean, I think Jops could actually win this for the next couple seasons.
Well, Cushman's going to give him an edge, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question is, where's Frederick at? Didn't he re-sign his QB today or yesterday? He extended him.
He's got Baskey.
Yeah, he extended him. So he's committing to him.
To Baskey?
Yep.
Let's look at it.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
He re-signed him either today or yesterday.
Yeah, so Baskey's is
So he's committing to him. He's got the running game.
Here's his running back, Reeves.
What are his receivers like? What's his defense like?
Well, his receivers are... Not sure which ones he's going with. Okay, so he's got Griffin. It's serviceable.
Ray Newhart looks like a guy. Yeah. Yep, that's the rookie you got. I mean, the focus is going to be on the run regardless, but having a couple of receivers that can get open. And he's got Hugh Floyd for his tight end still, so. The O-line's coming up. He got that right guard, Jamal Wilkins, in the first round. He's going to be great.
I like teams that run the ball. My teams run the ball. All three of the leagues I'm in right now have 2 running backs and a strong running game. And then we get a QB and some receivers. But I think you have to have both. I don't think you can say, well, I'm just going to run all over you. No, you're not going to score enough points that way most of the time unless you've got a monster defense and never turn the ball over.
Wish Jugs was on the show. He'd argue that. I mean, last
Jugs
year was the first time.
Passing game too, though. Go look at his team.
Yeah, okay, passing game. Not like last year. Adding Kornick really fucking helped out the pass game a lot.
There's no doubt. So you're making my point for me. Well, he's got both now. So he's a lot more dangerous.
Well, let's look at Grimm's team. He's got the tight end. He's got the wide receiver. I mean, a running back.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jugs is one bowl.
Kurtzman's about the only guy I can rely on.
He would tell you that.
Yeah.
But that's Jugs. I think most teams.
You have a nice offensive line.
Yeah, they're okay.
Your D line.
My D line is garbage. Just garbage.
You're not happy with them.
So let me ask you a question, Grim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why not go to Ben and take a swing at that QB? With a third. With a third round pick.
What QB?
What's his name?
I'll get him up.
The one Orlando was going to swing at.
Oh, Edwin Anthony? Nah, he looks like garbage.
With a third round, dude. With a third round pick. Why not offer it and make him turn it down?
I mean, his avoid interceptions 24.1. Yeah,
you're going to run the ball anyway.
I'd rather take my chances with the rookie. I mean, he looks okay, but that sense rush, dude, and my O-line not being super great, I'd give up. If I gave up 40-plus sacks in a season, I couldn't fucking live with myself.
And look what he did for Ben last year in 2 games against Orlando.
By the way, this guy was in the market. I don't know why no one picked him up.
Oh, you're
Dakota Peterson. I picked him up. He's got good sense rush. He's got good timing bar. Third on pass, and the rest I don't care about. He was on the market here.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too, but I think people start to shy away from these older guys that just haven't done anything.
And he's cheap.
But it doesn't matter what they did on some other team that the guy couldn't game plan or didn't have any talent around him. Or, I mean, if he has the bars, he has the bars.
Yeah. His avoid interception is 41.3.
I picked him up because of what's his name for me, Walter Vernon. Got sacked like 9 million times. Obviously, look, he has no sense rush in preseason.
Well,
so, and then I look.
If you've got a team like you have, Clay, and you throw the ball as much as you do,
yeah,
you don't have a good backup quarterback, and your guy gets hurt, you're done.
Yes, we talked about that actually on like the 2 shows ago.
Yep, that's insurance there.
But going back to Grimm's team, Grimm.
A third round pick, Grimm? Come on.
I'm settled, man. I'm settled with what I'm going to do. I'm going to be last in the division, I can tell you that. But honestly, gents, I did not really do anything outside of that Lenny Winters kid that I signed for big money, left corner or right cornerback. Outside of him, dude, I just didn't do anything to help the team through the draft or free agency.
For a third round pick, I'd take a shot.
Yeah, I just don't think I could do it. I mean, Capola kid's going to be awesome, or okay. for a left tackle, but he's got to develop.
Who was your third round pick this year?
Third round,
What's his current and what's his future?
Are we talking about his third round pick?
Yeah, that's the third round. Kapala was the defensive end.
What's his current and future?
He's a 33.57.
Okay. What's the QB?
Which QB?
The one that Ben had.
The one that Ben has?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'll bring him up right now. I have 40.52.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I don't. Difference is quite a bit, but that's not. We're not even guaranteed that Ben would take a third for that kid.
Why would you just offer it and find out?
I don't know. Well, I do know because I'm set with my team. I'm not going to make any more moves. I'm not going to cost myself any more money. I'm not going to lose any more draft picks. I'm just done, and I don't think that guy could do any better than the kid I got now. Especially with that sense rush, it's just not there for me, man. That sense rush is 24. He on my team, he would get sacked fucking 40 times. And again, if I get sacked 40 times, I can't live with myself. At least Christensen has sense rush and scramble ability. I mean that kid doesn't even have scramble ability. So,
and then we have Chesapeake with his weapons.
See, no, I think Quick's going to take a step back up here.
A step up or a step backwards?
Up. Step up.
Okay.
Still got the wide receivers. Still got Cody Humphreys who can run the ball. Percy Humphreys has been there for fucking 13 years. So the cohesion's there.
Yeah, he gets a lot out of this quarterback. 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Humphreys only put up 955 yards last season.
Yeah, no, and I thought he would get 1,000, but like Jug says, he doesn't change his game plan. So he's not adding more runs for Humphreys. So Humphreys is going to get what he gets. I mean, if he rips off a couple extra long ones, maybe he'll hit 1,000 yards or so, but...
That's a lot of money to pay for somebody you're not banging on 350 times a season into the line.
And that's what Jugs was saying, too. That's a lot of money to pay somebody you're not going to add extra runs for, you know?
Good O-line he's got.
Yep. The O-line's there.
His D.
Just grabbed a really good punter in the fourth round.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he did.
So who's going to win it?
I'll call it first. I'm going to go Brooklyn, Chesapeake, Frederick, Williamsburg.
Yep, my thoughts exactly.
I'm going to go Chesapeake, Brooklyn, Frederick, Williamsburg. And if Williamsburg had a QB, he'd be at least in third, maybe in second.
Yeah.
And now we said, God.
I just really didn't do much to add to my team, and a bunch of the older guys got just a little bit worse. Thank God they didn't all dump. But yeah, my D line and my linebackers are just not good, and I got to play Frederick twice and a bunch of other running teams. I think I played Jugs this year. I play Bob. It's like, fuck, man. So yeah, I think my record's going to go 6-10.
I don't know. I said this the other night to somebody else I was talking to. It just amazes me how veteran players and somebody he's not a superstar. He's not one of the Hall of Fame. He's not a fantastic player, but he could come help your team. Oh, I can't pay a draft pick for him. I'm like, these draft picks have gotten so overhyped and overpriced. You're not getting anything that special in the third and fourth round. And a player that's already fully developed and ready to go and has the bars you need and fits your team, okay, you're saying you don't like the sense rush on the QB. That's the example I'm using. But look what Ben did with 2 games against Orlando. You keep the running back in the block.
That's Ben. I don't have Ben's fucking team. I don't have Ben's fucking game plan, brother. I cannot have a guy with that low of sense rush on my team. I just can't. I never have, and I never fucking will. And I also like the scramble ability. It gets you some play sometimes. So that's really my reasoning behind why I couldn't do it. You know, I wouldn't even give a 5th round pick for that guy. I don't think. Maybe a 5th. I don't know. But
well, I don't know if Ben's going to drop him a 2nd.
No, 5th, no. But you know, my schedule also. I play 5 of the first 6 at home, and I suck at home lately. I play Frederick at home, Toronto at home, Arizona at home, Hanalei at home. Then I go at Brooklyn.
Toronto at home.
Yeah, I'm going to try. Then I go at Brooklyn, and then I got Oakland at home. I mean, I'm going to be like 1-5 coming out of that mess.
Yeah. I don't know. That's. I'm always looking to find a way.
Yep. Play drop off?
No, I'm here.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, I was listening to you guys.
Okay.
So let's go to NC West.
Yeah.
Hanalei, Oakland, Colorado, and Fairbanks. Now, I'm having a hard time because I think Colorado is going to be stout. But you have Hanalei and you have Oakland.
He picked the wrong time to be stout, didn't he?
I don't.
He should have waited a couple years till their guys got old.
Yeah, his wide receiver didn't pan out.
I mean,
first round guy.
I think that's a buzzsaw, that division.
That's
I mean,
Orlando Crouch.
Oof.
You got Jug went 14-2 and didn't even get a bye. Didn't even win the division. I'm like, wow.
Nope.
How do you?
He did not.
Okay, boys, we're in training camp. Boys, we want to go 14-2, and we'll have everything in front of us. And you go 14-2, and you're a wild card. I mean, that's crazy. And Hanalei's not like. Have they lost anything?
Well,
no.
We can. Yeah, he did not. He gained.
And he drafted. I'm sure he drafted well because he always does. So his team's probably stronger.
Absolutely.
Or deeper, or both.
Should we look? His running back, Hanalei's running back.
I think if we look, we're going to cry.
He doesn't really have wide receivers, but it doesn't matter for him. He makes it work.
Yeah, I don't think he throws that much, does he?
He's been throwing a good clip. Blitnikoff's been having 4,000-yard seasons.
I mean, he's putting the ball in the air. Doesn't seem to matter who he throws to then. Maybe just because he's spreading it around. I don't know.
No, and he lost the last great wide receiver he had this year. The hell was his name?
So someone did retire. So somebody did.
He did. Yeah. So he had to sign that Tyrus McCartney in free agency. I'm sure he'll be able to do some shit with him.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, the wide receivers and the O-line look to be a little weaker, but everything else should be well-rounded. And with the way he's been playing the last couple seasons, he's going to be number one again. And Jugs is going to be a close second.
I'm going to pick Oakland, Hanalei, Colorado.
And Fairbanks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
So let me look at.
I think Koronek in year 2 in his system. I think there'll be some things.
Yeah, Peter Rodriguez is getting old, wide receiver in Fairbanks. Still got DeAndre Washington. He's got Liam Shields and Wesley Relford at running back. Good fullback. No one to really throw the ball to. Yeah, I'm picking. Go a little different. I'm just doing Hanalei, Oakland, Colorado, and Fairbanks. I mean, Jugs will say that important people on his team are his two defensive ends, and that he's probably got the best linebacker in the fucking draft with Donald Days.
He definitely got the best linebacker in the draft. I wanted that guy.
Donald Days, this guy right here?
Got it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, he would have been, I think he's more of an inside guy.
Yep.
And I was hoping for an outside guy, but you know what? I would have adjusted somehow.
Him inside in the 3-4, man. He'd be tackling for fucking days. That's why his last name is Days.
Yep.
Tough division to be in. Playing against Hanalei and Oakland.
Oh, no question.
Absolutely.
All right, so we called it. That's all the teams.
Should we pick our games?
We can do that. Let's see. Let me get to the schedule. I'll get your game up. All right. Oh, let me do it this way. Let's do it this way. Here we go.
Week 1, what's going to happen?
So let's see who's coming up first. We have... All right, first one, Chicago coming to Kansas City.
Yeah.
They got Chicago by 11?
Yes, they do.
Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes.
No.
Yes, they do.
Why? What?
Is that based on who's in the starting lineup for the last preseason game, or is that based on the roster rating? Or
maybe, but everybody's got their starters in those last 2 weeks. Click on that preview. Let's see what we can see. Chicago by 11? You're fucking kidding me.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Chicago beats Kansas by 11 or more, I'm really worried about my team.
Oh, man. So I would say... just see what I can... Tomlin's got no one to throw to. Decent. Man, I'm calling this Kansas 30, Chicago 20.
I'll say 31-24 Kansas. It's awful quiet over there, Clay.
I'm going to go Kansas. Oh, you want me to give a score?
Yeah.
We're hoping.
I'm going to say 31-24.
We're all pretty close.
Yep. All right. Who's next?
Looks like
it is you. Fredericks at Williamsburg.
Well, it's been many a season since I've won a home opener. So, I don't think Reeves is going to have 200 yards. I'm going to lose this 23-13. Oh, it's a rain game, too. Oosh.
Let's put it up. Hold up. I'm going to go... I'm going to say, Grim, you're going to take it. I'm going to call it 17-14.
Ooh. Wishful thinking.
I've got two scenarios. If the rookie QB doesn't turn the ball over, 20-17 Williamsburg. If he starts throwing, 3 and 4 picks, 30-7 Fredericksburg.
Oh, all right, call it. Who do you think? I think Frederick's going to win. I really do.
I just don't think if he can protect the ball, I think you're good enough everywhere else to win a close game. If he can't protect the ball, they're going to run you over.
All right, that's acceptable.
Here's the thing: the first game of the week 1 is always crazy.
Yeah, they're really tough.
Yeah, so even though you have your rookie, it doesn't matter for the first game.
You start throwing 3 and 4 picks, and one of them's a pick six, and things get ugly in a hurry. You don't throw any picks, that running team, he's going to have trouble scoring points. A low-scoring game, Williamsburg can win. No interceptions from that QB. It's 20-17 Williamsburg.
Yeah.
If he throws 3 or 4, it's going to be ugly.
Yep, I agree.
It's all on him.
Next up is Harlem. Wow, going to Plainfield.
See, we played them twice last year. Mm-hmm. 2 totally different games.
I'm going to let Grim call this one.
I'm not sure how they were so different, but they were very different.
No, maybe one was home and one was away. I don't know. Man.
I'd have to look and see where we were the second game.
And you got the highest point spread, too, man, by 16 out of all those games. Computer really thinks you're going to win that. I think his quarterbacks are just fucking garbage, Bob. I think he can win that by 16. I think he could go, I'm going to say 30-14 and actually do the 16-point spread.
I'm going to say 33-17. You, Red Zone, taking it? Harlem?
I'm thinking more like 28-13.
Who?
Harlem.
Okay. So what we have here is we have Kansas City beating Chicago.
I don't think we're going to score a zillion points. His defense is just too good. But with those QBs, I think he's going to have trouble. We might get a touchdown defensively, so that'll help.
Yeah, pick 6 for sure, I bet.
So we're all agreeing that Kansas City beats Chicago. We're split on Williamsburg and Fredericks. And we're all in agreement for Harlem to beat North Plainfield. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, time to do our game planning tonight. I got to do mine, I know.
Yeah, I got to get in and start cover one buzzing the fuck out of Reeves.
And I got to fix my line and...
that should be your nickname, Cover One Buzz.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's right. You have Reeves.
Yes, I already predicted. Yep, he's going to run for 200 yards against us because my D-line and linebackers are weak. And it's a rain game, so our only hope is if we can get Reeves to fumble a couple times, but he is not a fumbler.
All right, I'm excited for tomorrow. Wake up, look at the score, see who won.
Yep, it's almost like Christmas, except when I lose week 1.
Then what's it like?
Like hell. That's like that's like how your season's gonna go.
No,
I think.
No. by week 3, right? You'll start knowing what your team is like by week 3.
Right. I just have a lot of tough teams at home, and I'm not good at home.
So if you win, it's like Christmas, and when you lose, it's more like Halloween, trick or treat?
Not even that. It's like hell, dude.
All right, fellas. That was fun.
Yeah, good shit.
So I'll end the recording here, and I will post it up for tomorrow. And let's see if any of our predictions hold true.
All right, sounds good.